Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
All right, welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020, man. This is one of the most powerful programs that you guys will ever tune into. And I'm not saying that because I'm on it. I'm saying it because you, even with the opening scene of our video, you can hear two powerful quotes that both of my co-hosts have said. Bobby Drake had said, you know, that we have no political ties. We shouldn't have no political ties to either party, which is what you're seeing right now. The destruction of the the Democratic Party, and us as Black people are now finding solutions and starting to realize that we are our own people. And we're out here strategizing different ways about going that to get tangible benefits and not symbolic bullcrap. All right, so shout out to that. And Major Gage said something that was very powerful, and you'll see some of that tonight with the off-code behavior when he said that the household, needs to be reconstructed back with a powerful structure of a man, woman, so they can protect their children. It is very, very important on us on how to vet the correct people when we are procreating with them, because it makes a whole lot of difference. I tell people all the time, nobody went to hell or heaven and came back on earth and told you what it looked like. But what we can tell you, though, is that you can live your heaven and hell here based on how you operate within the dynamics of your how you were raised and the code of conduct. And being off code will lead you to a destruction of hell on a path towards hell more than it would lead you to a path towards heaven. So always remember that your heaven and hell is based on how you choose to live your life here on earth before you transition to your next journey. All right. Mm-hmm. With that being said, fellas, you guys got anything you want to say before we jump off into tonight's segment?
I just want to point out that Anthony Malcolm says some powerful shit on there too. You understand what I'm saying? Which is, well, he said a few things on there, but everything on there is powerful. But I get what you're saying. You picking out the stuff that stands out. One thing he said on there that was really powerful that stood out to me was, I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are. And he got that game from his pops, which also illustrates to us the importance of Black fathers in the home. Shout out to that brother for that. That's a gem.
I say I speak to my pops, Maurice Malcolm.
Yes.
In heaven. Love you, pops.
R.I.P. to the elder.
Yes.
Real quick, because that is such a powerful gentleman, just toss a little extra sprinkling on that. There's actually a second part to that saying, not just where you say, tell me who you spend your time with, and I'll tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
The other part of that also says, if I know how you spend your time, then I know what might become of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's like a soup. It's like a stew. Whatever it is that you soak yourself in, that you cook yourself in, that you stay up in, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
But, that's where the smart money is at. So, you have a lot more control over your outcome, over your situation than you think you do. People like to just leave it up to chance, or it's fate, or it's just a coincidence, or it can happen to anyone. And that could be true. But there's a lot more personal responsibility you have than you would like to admit. And if you're willing to do the work and be disciplined, then that's an amazing superpower for you. But if you're trying to look for excuses, if you're looking for a way to go ahead and duck responsibility, then that's your worst nightmare.
Well said. Well said.
Yes, sir.
All right. So with that being said, definitely want to show you guys something real quick when it comes down to what we do. And there's a lot of people that do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just us, but there are a lot of people out there that are on the path, that have been on the journey of trying to educate people and enforce back that code of conduct that we lost. That's why we're doing a show tonight called Off Code, because we have veered away from that code of conduct that really solidified the strength of our community and our household. And because that's been broken, we're now seeing broken families, broken communities, broken unity, and even broken people. So it's all a cause and effect, and we're spiraling downhill. But right now, we're in this lingo mode where we're trying to grasp and understand that, hey, we got to get things back into control, because we're seeing that the dominant society is doing so many things that is hindering us and also being very detrimental to us. And the only way to combat that is to strengthen back up our solidified family, our community, and everybody around us. So that way we can fight effectively and get the things that we rightfully need to get to, and also make our ancestors proud, because they didn't have the solutions, but they gave us the blueprint in order to get the solutions. And we've been goofing off, shuck jiving, dancing, selling out each other for a paycheck, That's also being off code. And because of that, now we're in this situation right now that is a dire need of emergency. So when you see people like us, there's so many more, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, Black Authority, Sabby Sab, she's doing her thing. You know,
Vicky
there's so many, Vicky Dillard, they're doing their thing so much. And this is what it looks like on a daily basis when you are out here trying to fight for your community, trying to fight for your people, trying to make sure that you are living in your truth and proving to people and showing them that you're not just talking, but you're doing exactly what you say you ought to do. You're leading by example. And leaders, people who are leading by example, people who are trying to save the majority, they go through battle wounds, they go through scars. And this is what happens. You go through a fight. It's not an easy battle. You come out with a bunch of scars and bruises. But at the end of the day, once you know that what you're fighting for is worth it, is worth the battle, is worth the scars, then that's how you know you are on your path of purpose. So it's not pretty, it's not easy, but that's a visual of what we go through day in, day out, because you're going to have people that, as much as you're doing good, as much as it's there to benefit the people, you're going to have the distractors, you're going to have the paid ops, you're going to have the naysayers that come in here time wasting and trying to sit back and take you and derail you off your track. That's just natural. You got to understand that you have to have a strong mind, stay focused, and keep going, because you got to keep your eyes on the prize. That's what made that song so powerful back in the days with our ancestors. You know, keep your eyes on the prize, right? So you understand what the goal is and what the mission is. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, off code. There's another thing that has been going around that a lot of us have been going off code on. And I noticed a lot of Black women, and I'm not trying to target Black women, but they're putting you guys in these seats that they're paying you to basically go out here and be talking points and talking pieces for the Democratic Party, the party that is out here participating of being the destruction of society and trying to also be a part of the major pushers of population control. And in order for you to control the population, it's not about creating wars. You know, when you got Trump out here and people say, oh, Trump is trying to get peace and he's not trying to start the wars. But then you have Biden out here that was trying to promote the wars and push for war before he left out of office. It's not about just wars. There's also population control is having confusion. When you have confusion of genders and roles and what your main role is supposed to be, that is population control too. So you have a lot of people out here that have been influenced into that direction as well. You know, there are people that do live the lifestyle, and there are people that have been influenced into the lifestyle. Whether you like it or not, that's just what it is. That is also part of population control. So that's why there was a strong move to push for the abortion, because what happens is when you have these promotion of population control, you have the promotion of women getting rid of their children and things like that. There is one group of people that are dying out more than they can procreate, and that is the dominant white society. And that's why the whites collectively have been pushing to stop abortions, because they're trying to get away from the propaganda so they can reproduce and be a part of the living race, as all the other races are continuing because they're procreating and things like that. So you had Trump the other day, he ended up putting out remove all devices, like the whole men having baby emoji, right? So you have this guy signing off on something like that because that's a major promotion of population control. And, you know, he's a person of the Republican Party. You know, they say that they're pro-choice. That's what they claim to do, and that's what they claim to be, and that's what they're pushing. So being part of pro-choice is to eliminate agendas like that. So, you know, we have a lot of off-code thinking, a lot of off-code people, and it turns into, and as I know people want to sit back and say, yeah, let people do what they want to do. But when you are programming people in the confusion, it ends up being into a cult-like wave that in effect it affects the younger generation that don't know any better and think that that is okay. And the people that's trying to run the world, play God, they're programming these people and don't understand the everlasting effects that it has on the person. Because then mentally, when you're confused, you can't operate in a society like this. And if you're mentally thinking that you're one thing, and then people are telling you this, you're thinking people are against you. And now you have laws that end up causing people that know what's the real reality to end up in jail and into another. So then it causes a whole dysfunction, silencing people and doing everything outside of the norm, which is totally off code of what's going on in regular society. So you got to watch out for things like that. And, sometimes when it comes to that, people put their foot down and make sure that they put in laws and everything like that to make sure that they construct a concrete form of order. And, as small as that might seem, it ends up being something big later on down the line. For his community and for society in general. All right. So as you guys know, we saw the flyer. We had the flyer up, and we had these individuals that's on the flyer. So I didn't want to get too much into it, but these are individuals that's off code. So as you know, Roland Martin has been off code for a long time. He's actually pushing people inside the slaughterhouse, not on the hill as a shepherd should be, because we're all shepherds. We're all here to protect the masses, right? So we're supposed to be out there to make sure that our people are away from harm's way and making sure that we're doing what we need to do to keep our people surviving and in a position of where they can be mobilized to where they can be productive for their families. And then you have people like Roland Martin, who's pushing you inside the slaughterhouse. And a lot of things that he has promoted allegedly has gotten a lot of people off this earth. And I can't really talk about that because of the censorship that will happen on YouTube if you end up talking about certain keywords. They have AIs to look out for it, and they will flag your podcast or your channel, and then makes it harder for you to reach your people. But just know he was part of that programming. He also got exposed for getting funding for promoting that stuff. Joy Reid, same thing. She was part of that, getting that funding, promoting people in that direction as well. They got rid of Joy Reid. They've been got rid of Roland Martin, but he went and did his own thing. And as much as he's doing his own thing, people still not listening to him because a broken clock, he's going to have his moments where he exposes himself. Drake, as you guys know, Drake in blackface. He did blackface, which was very disrespectful, especially if you have biracial parents. You're a biracial child from two different parents, a black father and a white mother. And you do something that has racial effects on Black society, and you say it was a joke or it was something you deemed as funny, and that was a backlash that he never could recover from. Pusha T exposed it, and then he just got wiped out by Kendrick Lamar. So Drake has got his karma on that. As you can see, Puffy got his karma for being off code. There's a lot of things that Puffy is linked to, and the power that he was given to by the white society has gave him a little bit of power during his regime that he went on, and he over abused that power and end up doing some things that was very off code, and he got caught on camera being off code, because what happens is not everybody can handle power like that. And once he started to use that power, and they say, oh, this Negro got beside himself because now we're giving you power and you're trying to use that power to empower yourself with the lawsuit that he did with the liquor company. So he was trying to do his own thing, and they was like, all right, that's what's going on. And then all the allegations and all the dirt that they had him and had up under him, they released everything. Because one thing about the dominant society, they'll give you the power, but they got to make sure that your hands are dirty and keep tabs on you and keep dirty in your hands. So if you turn and want to do something, they have the receipts to expose you and make you look like a whole big villain in the process of doing that. And in the process of that, having that power, you also do some things that create your own villain character as well. And he has done that. So he's starting to see a lot of his off-codeness is coming back to bite him in the butt. The two individuals on the bottom, the two sisters, twin sisters, they end up killing their children. They both had children. One went to jail for killing their children. I think it was a week later or something like that. The other twin ended up going to jail for the same thing of killing her children.
Wow.
That is off-code behavior. We're seeing a lot of women nowadays that are killing their children or not protecting them, and they end up dying. The gentleman that you see on the right, he was a guy who had it out with his baby moms. And one day he got frustrated. He went to where his baby moms was, shot her mother, which is his baby's grandmother, then shot his child, that's his son that you see right there, and then he shot himself as a domestic suicide. Starting to see a lot of brothers on that domestic suicide. And it's very sad, but that's very hardcore, very hard off-code behavior that is starting to increase, and I don't like it. A lot of you fellas out there aren't real men, and you guys are doing some real horrible shit, and it's time to tighten up, man. This type of behavior we have to get rid of this shit in order for us to get to where we need to get to. I'll land my plane right there and let you guys chime in before we proceed on.
I mean, you pretty much said it all, bro. Like, I mean, you got several of the main clowns in the clown car that is Negroes that, actively and very often display off-code behavior, with the exception, of the sisters and the brother there that killed their children, and the brother who killed his baby mother as well. Other than that, you right on, you spot on with the Joy Reids, Roland Martin, Drake. You can add in people like Tiffany Cross, every Negro on MSNBC. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. Every last one of them, and I'm sure that there are some Negroes on Fox too, but I don't watch Fox. I never watched Fox. And let me just address some of the Negroes out there that have a problem with us targeting and talking about liberals specifically. The reason why a lot of time you'll see people like us target and talk about liberals specifically is because, for the most part, Black folks as a whole are not enamored with and therefore brainwashed by conservatives. We see that they're also racist. We see that they're also very much lacking in actually doing anything for Black people. The difference is they don't pretend that they are our friends. The reason why we go in on liberals harder is because y'all seem to think that these people are your friends and that they like you and that they're doing something for Black people. You actively ignore the racism that comes from the left. And you want to act like you're ready to have a damn cow anytime Trump farts or coughs. I do acknowledge that, yeah, there's some racist stuff that Trump has said and done. Sure. But for everything racist that Trump has said and done, there is an equal or greater racist act that has come from the Democrats that nobody pays attention to. And so we feel like we got to shake your dumb ass and wake you up. That's why we keep talking about the Democrats like we talk about them, because y'all are convinced that they're just sugar and spice and everything nice. And you have this weirdness about you where you want this comfortable racism. You understand what I'm saying? And we're here to tell you that there's no such thing. You understand? There's no such thing. You're either going to be respected and treated as a first-class citizen and be treated as a man or woman wholly, or you ain't got shit. That's all. You understand what I'm saying? And we're trying to make people understand that. That's why you keep carrying your silly ass to the polls every election cycle, voting for the Democrats and expecting a different result than what happened the last time. And the result is always just more comfortable slavery. I'm just saying, I want to speak on that because I was just arguing with somebody yesterday about this. Like, well, you know, you try to act like, you know, you criticize both sides, but we know which side you despise the most. No shit, nigga. Yes, I do despise the Democrats more, but there is a reason for that. And that is because they like to blow smoke up our ass and pretend that they're on our side, and they're not. At least the Republicans are honest. And when you're honest about, hey, I don't really like y'all niggas. Okay, well, let's try to make a deal then. You may not like us, but we're willing to come out and vote for you. We got 45 million votes. We got 45 million votes here, and we can provide you with that if you're willing to do something for us.
Yeah.
Okay. The last person that did something for black folks was what's his name? Damn it, I always forget this guy's name. Kennedy died and he stepped in.
I bet you're forgetting that there's cobwebs and a layer of dust and rust and all kind of corrosion over it. That says plenty.
Yes, that's
the problem right there.
Right, the dude who stepped in after Kennedy got smoked. What was his name? I'm having a brain fart.
He got smoked after Kennedy?
No, he came in after Kennedy got smoked.
That was his VP?
You talking about B. Johnson?
LBJ was a foaming at the mouth racist.
Baines Johnson.
LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, was a foaming at the mouth racist. Every other word out of his mouth was nigga. But you know what? He's the goddamn civil rights bill.
Yeah, that's the one good thing that Republican did for black people.
Yeah, oh my bad. He was a Democrat. You did.
Oh,
no, he was racist as shit. All right then.
No, wait. That can't be. But he's racist. So
right.
He's Republican. There's no way he can be Democrats.
Listen, man. And
Donald Trump, Democrats are good. Are the good ones. The Democrats are the good ones. The liberals don't make up stories.
Come on now. You dig? And this is the type of thing I'm trying to get you Negroes to understand so that you can deprogram yourselves and take another route. I voted for Jill Stein last election cycle. Sabby Sabs actually put me on to her. I knew she was there, but I didn't really give a fuck if I'm being totally honest. You understand? But like, I'm listening to this sister. She's razor sharp. And she keeps talking about Jill Stein and how we need to really check her out and, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm like, damn, let me check her out. And I looked at her platform. I was amazed, you understand, on the type of shit she's running for. She's running for things like, you know, getting rid of private prisons. You understand what I'm saying? She's running on things like reparations, things that will directly benefit black people. And I try to get Negroes to understand, just broadly speaking, this is what you need to be doing. Don't be lazy. Stop being lazy. Nigga, stop twerking. Get out the strip club and get off goddamn TikTok and read up on some of these politicians and see what they are offering and vote based on that. All this clickism, oh, my red click, oh, my blue click, that's bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I want to leave y'all with. I'm gonna land my plane, but that is part of being on code, you know, doing what is going to benefit your people and nothing else.
Exactly. Well said. Talking about off code, we definitely want to give you guys the definition of and the meaning of what it is to be off code. So let's hear this wonderful audio. It is kind of low, so bear with it. I couldn't find the actual audio, but I found this clip. It's from our good brother, Professor Truth. All right?
Yeah.
It just goes to show the magnitude of the job that the black collective, especially the black media, still has ahead of us to take control of the social discourse within our community. This is why calling out off-code behavior is so important. This is the reason why we bang that drum all the time. The truth of the matter is, unless you actually establish rules of the road and make it where there's a dedicated group of black people who say, whoa, this is what we do not do, then what happens is anything That's the reason why you got so many black people who think it's okay to be off code, because there's not a critical mass of black people who have dedicated themselves to calling this mess out. So you always got some Negroes who can run to their little gaggle of pals who are just as dumb as they are and say, hey, you just do your thing and let me do my thing. Yeah, but the thing that you're doing is setting the rest of us up to get killed. So no, you can't just be allowed to do your thing because you're helping to perpetuate and promote the killing.
All right.
I love Professor Black Truth.
Facts on facts.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on now. Hold up. That's my guy.
Brother is 19 steps ahead of the curve, man.
That's my guy. That's my guy right there.
Love PBT.
Facts. Yeah, that made me feel great right there because, you know, I'm going to just say this real quick. I'm going to let Bobby cook for a minute, but I got to say this, man, because I think I get more annoyed by this than anybody.
Yeah.
Somebody does some coon-ass bullshit and everybody's response is just, why you hating? Why you gotta judge? Shut the entire fuck up, dude. Like, this is why I leave my gun at home, because of niggas like that. Niggas, and boy, look, gang, it makes my blood boil. It makes my head explode because so many of y'all are just too goddamn dumb to realize that the reason why we're in this place, like he said, is because we're in this anything goes type of reality that we've now created for ourselves. This anything goes, you know, totally off code, you know, twerking in church, all this bullshit. That is what we have allowed. You understand what I'm saying? And anytime I hear somebody say some dumb shit like that, it makes my blood boil. I want to slap the shit out of them because you still don't get it. You don't understand that you talking like that is how we got here. Black people didn't used to be like this. Back in the days, we had rules, and there's certain things that we just did not do. We carried ourselves respectfully. We respected our elders. We had a certain way that we acted in public. We always had our ratchetness, but it wasn't something that we upheld and exalted. That has never been the case in Black society. That's some new shit. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of people say, I'm not going to do this, but a lot of people say that a lot of it has to do with the influx of other Black folks from the diaspora. I will say this.
Let's talk about it.
I will say this. I can't say 100% that that's it, but it has been a factor in some things because unfortunately, a lot of the Black folks that come here from abroad, they don't rock with us like that. They look at themselves as something else. And so, yeah, unfortunately, since we're not together, we're not unified, you know, we got the Civil Rights Bill passed and we made sure that there was something in there that talked about immigration that allowed brothers and sisters to come here from abroad, thinking that they would reinforce our numbers and give us more strength.
That Pan-African spirit.
That Pan-African spirit, the Pan-Africanist spirit. Unfortunately, a lot of them just didn't do that. And that is a current and present threat that, you know, we have to deal with. And you know, we'll speak more on that, but I don't want to get too much into that. I hear it a lot going around. I feel like I need to say that it is a factor, but it is not the end all be all and the reason why we're here. It is part of it, though, I believe. And go ahead, man. Go ahead. Get busy.
It is definitely part of it. Being somebody that has two immigrant parents. I was born in New York, and coming up, going back and forth from the island to the U.S.
Yeah,
I learned a lot of pro-Blackness, pride in myself from my foundational Black friends that I've met in New York and even in Maryland when I moved to Maryland. When you go to the islands, when you go back to the islands, it's very sad, you know, and I've talked about how me and my brother want to go back to the island and try to upgrade a lot of the things that's at the island. And him being that he is very profound and a major figure in the medical field in Maryland.
Yeah.
He went to go visit some of his side of his family because we have two different mothers. So he wanted to go visit. He went to go visit some of his family members on his mother's side. And when he went to go visit them, he had to go see one of them in the hospital.
Yeah.
And basically, it took him all day. And even one day he wasn't able to go there, and he waited all day. That's how bad the medical system is. It is so prehistoric. It's not like America where you could just move people in and out, like how you just go to the hospital, you check in, and you go to the room.
Yeah.
It's not like that in Jamaica. It's basically, it's like the club, right? You know how back in the day in the club, how the club was full. They'd be like, yeah, you got to wait till about 30 people come out before 5 people come in. That type of stuff. So that's that's the system that they're on back then. Back in the islands, and they're not up to date on a lot of their technology, which is sad. And it's a reason behind that, and that's why I told my brother that I said, yeah, let's go down there because you are more on the intellectual side of it. I'm more on the empowerment side of it. So I got to protect you going down there because you not realizing that there's no way in hell that island of Jamaica should be that way back in technology. It's done like that for a purpose because they want you to not be proud of where you stay at, and they want you to flee to America as the ultimate goal to come to America. That's what they do to all these islands. They deprive them financially for resources and make you say, hey, this is not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be somewhere else. And then the Asians and the whites come in and take over and get all the financial resources from the damn island while you over here working 60 hours a week. But you think it's better because the money you get in America is more money that you see in your own country. So you don't look back to go save your country because you're like, shit, I don't need nothing from there. You know, where I'm at right now is the best. That's why so many people are having meltdowns now that Trump is in office and sending people back to their country because now you already know you're going back to square one. Wow. So it is very important for us to go and build up our countries. There's a lot of Jamaicans that's making some good money, that's very prominent, that's very knowledgeable, and they're just not going back to the country to even do anything. They say, oh, you know, it's corrupted, it's government and this and that, but yet there's corruption in government here, and foundational Black Americans have to fight back because they don't have another country to go to. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people lose sight at, and that's why I say when it comes to the immigrants, I really blame a lot of that stuff on them because you have the power to change your country. You know, you guys look back and y'all forget where y'all come from. But the minute that somebody represents the country and does something great, you put up the biggest flag you can buy in the store and wave it around or put it on your car or put it in your house. And that's when you're doing the major stuff. You feel me? So a lot of people don't understand, like when you look at the country in itself, and I don't want to go too deep off into it. That's definitely a topic for another day. But I will tell you, we'll tell you that, and this is part of off-code behavior, that a lot of the stuff that I see and I hear in the islands, there's a lot of degeneracy going on. There's a lot of what do you call it? When a man is there's a lot of what they call toxic masculinity. No such thing, but it's a lot of beta masculinity over there, I should say. A lot of guys that basically beat on their women, adultery, a lot of that is committed. There's a lot of pedophilia, a lot of grown men, even police officers that hang out by those schools, preying on those young children. You know, you got government officials that's involved with a lot of sexual activities with young girls because they give them money. And, you know, a lot of these women, these little girls, I should say women, well, these little girls are persuaded by the money. Some of them have to feed their family because they're living in so much poverty. So their parents often sign off on it for the financial gain. There's a lot of stuff that we can really dive down on that is so off code and so disgusting when it comes to these islands. And a lot of them take that behavior and come over here with that degeneracy. and we've seen it involved in our society. So just to get back on the on-code stuff, man, I really want to show you guys this video of this young lady that is very off-code. Now, a lot of people say that they like her. I'm not gonna lie, she can flow, but the thing about it is she never sat right from day one with me. I've seen her doing some crazy off-the-walls things. I've seen her mingling with Janelle Monáe, the way they prop her up so fast. And she just came on the scene and they're putting her around certain people so fast. And I'm like, yeah, there's an agenda. Once I seen her around Janelle Monáe, I was like, yeah, I know exactly what they're training and breeding her up to do. And then she came out with this video and I said, bingo, knew it. I saw it coming. And I'm gonna show you guys this video and then we'll talk about it. All right.
Being a straight man is the biggest red flag when dating, is what Doshi says, however you say her name. Let me play the video.
This is a huge red flag for me. All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men.
So they said the biggest red flag. She said the biggest red flag is a straight man. Now, mind you, I was like, wow. So I ran across one of my favorite comedians. I love this guy. One of my favorite comedians, and he broke it down real good. So let's watch this video, and then I'll let you guys chime in.
Yeah.
Dochi.
No.
Girl, let's talk about it. For those who don't know what I'm about to get into, let me catch you up. The rapper Dochi recently said this on Hot Ones.
My biggest dating red flag. I mean, strike one. You're a man. Yeah. And you're heterosexual. Yeah.
And before you go, oh, it ain't like you had a chance with her anyway. I don't want to date Dochi. Dochi does cocaine on camera. And then she raps about it and does performances about it. And they push that music to the children. And these children will idolize her because she's a star and she's making drug use sound cool. Now, for me, dating, that's a red flag because I believe red flag speaks to caution or things to be suspicious of. And so character and actions lead to that. Now, I think that works for me and her. I wouldn't want to date her. She wouldn't want to date me. I don't care. My thing is, as a black woman, I think you should find it problematic that someone would say that they're cautious of you just for being. Because that's something black women got to deal with all the time. So as a straight man, you just saying me being me is essentially problematic. It's something that I hope you change in the future, that you can see that you said and maybe word it differently and stick to like characteristics that speak to character. You know what I mean? Like allowing your boyfriend to put a gun to your head and telling him to pull the trigger just to show that you trust him.
Do it. I love you.
You love me?
Yeah.
You trust me?
I fucking trust you. Do it.
See, I consider that to be problematic behavior. That would be a red flag for me. But I don't want to sit here and act like I'm perfect. I exhibit very problematic traits. Like, for example,
if you were offered $10K to sleep with me in my bedroom for 2 weeks every night, what would you do?
Hell no. I would never need $10,000 that bad. But if I needed $10,000 that bad, I would just sell drugs. Yes, I know drugs like hurt your community and people's family members get strung out on it and it hurts people's lives. But I wouldn't like spread the drugs amongst many families or anything like that. I still have a heart. I would get my 10,000 by selling like drugs to rich people who can afford to spend like 10,000 on drugs. And then I'd just be selling to one person. You know, I'd probably just sell cocaine to Dochi.
Bobby, it's on you. Bobby, it's on you.
Let me show you guys this. I saw this unparalleled artistry, authenticity and style. So they're trying to promote her into this this like, oh, she's just being artsy and in that craft, and that's how they're trying to funnel her propaganda into our society and also into our children. Just like he was saying, they promote these women like the Sexy Reds and her and the Lottos and all these other women that go ahead and promote and make it seem like what we're doing as these stars is cool for children to do. You know, you got little girls bending over talking about bend your knees, let your coochie breathe. These are little girls singing this with a bunch of little girls. We've seen that video, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look into it and you start seeing who she lines up with, you're like, okay, Doja Cat with special guest Doechii, you know, and they're promoting this, and those two together, as you know, Doja Cat and her problematic shit she's been saying. It's really, really bad. And we as people have to watch that and call that out and not accept that in society as entertainment, because that's how they fool you with the entertainment. It's the same way that a lot of these execs get you in the office and want to do a deal with you, and then they give you the liquor and say, yeah, man, relax. You know, just relax. And that's their thing. They calm you down with relaxing, with the little trinkets of liquor and the jewelry and all that, and then have you sign some janky ass contract, and by the time you realize, you're screwed. And that's the same thing with these women. They put these women in our society, in our faces, have our children around, and then when we realize that our children are being jacked up by the messages they're saying, we're screwed. All right, I land my plane on that. Go ahead, take over, Bobby.
Shout out to Ryan, man. That brother is definitely growing and evolving in his comedy, man. That was Dave Chappelle level setup. Placeholder. Hold my drink right here. I'll be right back for it. Makes his way around the room, does the crowd work, just shakes hands, kiss babies, and then right on cue comes back and grabs a drink and just brings the whole joke full circle. Excellent how he did that, and very well timed. But yeah, you know, I keep telling people this, and I will never ever miss an opportunity to highlight and showcase how powerful controlled opposition is. People really don't understand how nefarious that is, but controlled opposition is the ultimate chess move. In fact, it's not even chess move. Chess is advanced. There are games that are way more cerebral than chess. That is shogi. That is a shogi move, Japanese chess move, three-dimensional chess move right there. The idea of I'm going to basically set a stage, I'm going to play mind games with you. I'm going to present you with the scene and with the setting. I'm going to set this side over here and tell you that this is the good guys. Set this side over here and tell you these are the bad guys. I'm going to spin this narrative. I'm going to spin this story. And I'm going to get you all involved. You're really going to be, you know, you're going to be all emotionally invested in it. You're going to really want to root for the good guys. Every time they get slugged by the bad guys, you're going to cheer for them, encourage them, motivate them. They come back and they get some licks in, like, yeah, I'm just going to get you so emotionally involved. The whole time you have absolutely no idea that they are both on the same team. It's no difference. It's like when you're a child, you're watching a puppet show and you're watching the two puppets talk to each other. You're like, oh, I like this puppet more. I like that puppet more. It's the same person. It's just the left hand and the right hand. But because you can't see behind the curtain, and because especially if you're not questioning, or if you're not doing your due diligence and digging, you're not going to have any idea. And that replicates itself at so many levels across the board with us today. At so many levels, at so many different intervals, it's ridiculous. And it's no different with these foreign countries, which we were talking about earlier. These destabilization efforts, man, these are tactics that are old as time. They've been doing this forever. Since the days of colonization, they come up and they purposely sabotage you. They cut off your resources, they hobble you, they impede your ability to grow and develop and to have autonomy. They cripple you, so you have to go to them. They're the only game in town. And so if you want to advance, if you want to survive, you want to feed yourself, your family, if you want to go ahead and be able to properly defend yourself, if you want to be able to have any chance to advance, you have to come to them. And they set themselves up. And it's so annoying because this is not new information.
Mm-hmm.
We've had our elders, we've had titans like Malcolm X, we've had famous speeches that people will play talking about the same exact thing, and we don't make the nexus, we don't get the correlation. We hear it, and we may even applaud for it, but at no point in time do we ever actually say, I wonder if there are any real life examples of this currently. What would they be? We don't do it, or if we do it, we do a horrible job of finding out those situations and saying, these match. And that's how you learn to do, because a lot of this, and it's what makes it so annoying, because in reality is white supremacy really isn't that advanced. And Professor Black Truth has gone on about this to great length, so has Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed. A lot of our elders and scholars have talked about this. White supremacy is actually very fragile. It's very fragile.
Yeah.
Very delicate. It won't take much to unseat it or to disrupt it or to dispel it. And that's why it's so hypersensitive about everything. That's why it has to have such an advanced, elaborate system to try and cripple us, because if they don't, it's game over. But because so many of us are unwilling or unable to actually buck back and actually see what's going on and make the moves to destabilize and upend it, it doesn't happen. They run the same old raggedy ass tattered plays out the playbook.
Sure do.
There's fairly little that is actually new in that. But like the saying goes, if it ain't broke, stop touching it. Don't fix it. I will run this same musty ass play. I know you're tired of it. I know you're sick and tired of the same moves. Can we do something else? But we always do that. But does it keep working? Yeah, but does it keep working? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we're gonna keep running it.
It is.
Yes, I know you're tired of running it for the 999,999th time, but guess what? We go run it for the 1 bajillionth time.
Yeah, it is.
Until they make it so that we can't run it anymore.
Yeah.
So at that point, the question is, are they really that fragile? Or are we so feeble that we can't see the plot and finally get wise to it? That's the question we need to start asking ourselves. Is it that they're remedial or that we're remedial?
All facts.
To close on the whole Dochi thing, I even though I've never been someone that has needed others to agree with me, I'm perfectly fine with having a minority opinion or even being the only person seeing things a certain way. I'm perfectly fine by that because I trust me. I believe in me. I believe in I'm never so confident where I feel like I can't be wrong. But because I have that Brother Neely Fuller Jr. mindset where I'm still learning, I know that even if I'm off or I don't have it properly, because I'm always looking to grow and learn and develop, eventually I'm going to catch the mistake and I'm going to fix it. Or I'm going to find the evidence that confirms, I'm on point with what I'm saying. I can go ahead and make projections and don't feel bad about it because I know that it's either going to all make sense later on or I'm going to get it right in the wash later. When Dochi, and I really don't listen to new artists. I really don't. There are a couple artists that have surprised me and that I gravitate to. I'm the biggest fan of them right now. But most new artists, you got to really do something to get my ear. You really got to earn my attention. When Dochi came out, I heard her name along with some other female rappers and some other ones. Oh, you got to listen to Dochi. She's raw. She's this, that, and third. I'm like, okay, I hear you. But now I'll get to it when I get to it. On the ass end of things I need to do. Not really checking for it. After she got the Grammy, I'm looking at this like, you know what? Her style or what's being presented to her seems a little bit unique. Let me go ahead and, let me celebrate the sister a little bit. Dark skin sister out here doing her thing, representing. I don't see anything that's overtly problematic. Let me go peel under the cover a little bit and do some digging. And actually, when I got a whole day Dochi run, I listen to her album. I listen to her features. I'm like, she's not 100% my vibe. I dig the eccentricity a little bit, but it's not my vibe. But I'll keep an open window. I want to support the system. But something was always in the back of my neck saying, hey, okay, she's cool. The song's all right. But hey, I can never put my finger on them. I'm like, you know what? Again, it'll make sense. Don't trip about it. three things cannot be long hid: the sun, the moon, and the truth. It's gonna come out. And then I realized when I heard this video came out, see how she conducting herself, I realized what my issue with her was. She gives off strong, heavy Janelle Monáe vibes.
Heavy.
And that is not a compliment. That is not a good thing.
It's not.
It's not. And the irony is, I actually commented about Janelle Monáe the other day. So about, I haven't seen her too much. It looks like they're going to have to try and either reinvent her again. They already outed her as a lesbian now. That's the new niche they're pushing. They're either going to find some new niche for her to kind of get her name out there popping again, or they're going to have to get a new plant in. And lo and behold, I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up.
How about that?
Can't make it up. And sure enough, here she goes. And now it makes sense. This overnight celebrity that they just pushed out of nowhere, out of whole cloth, and they fabricated. I also was aware of her story about how she initially got into music and everything, where she lost her job, Twitter was down to nothing. And then 5 years later, here she is winning Grammys out of nowhere. My last speech on destabilization efforts, because it's not just something that they do with countries. They do this with people as well, to individuals and groups.
Yeah.
They hate us because we're black, but they victimize us because we're poor.
Okay.
They love to keep us in a state of economic instability because they know that it's that much easier to get the hand up our asses, get their fingers in our mouth, and use us for puppets.
All facts.
And they do with brothers, but they really, really love to keep an eye out for sisters that are destitute and don't have much in the way of options. They'll get these women to go ahead and slut themselves out. They'll get them to spew all sorts of anti-black misandry. They'll get them to make complete ass clowns out of themselves, watching minstrel shows. And they have women actually pushing this as a virtue now, being all about the bag. When women don't care, they'll do whatever. They're hustler. They'll go ahead. They'll sell sex. They'll make OnlyFans. They'll do whatever. And there's been for about a good several years, I don't want to say a decade, not quite, but for at least the last 8 years, with the prominence, not the rise, but the prominence of social media. You have a number of women who I've seen out here promoting themselves as everything. They're trying to be everything. They want to be models. They want to be singers, actors, dancers. They want to be this, is that, and the third. And they don't have any actual talent per se to lock into. So they're trying to take a shotgun approach. I want to do everything. Those are women that were basically willing to sell their souls where they realize they're not, because you're saying, I'll do anything. You're like the person on the side of the street saying, we'll do whatever for food. God bless. They see you down bad. And eventually someone's going to come to you and say, okay, well, just how badly do you want it? I can give you what you're looking for and then some. How bad do you really want it? And when they see you're at a point where all you care about is securing the bag by any means necessary, they'll go ahead and they'll prop you up and they'll give you what you're looking for, but they'll also be quick to yank that carpet out from under your feet as well, too. Exactly. Shout out to Anubis TV.
Yeah.
We have to be mindful of how we're raising our children, especially our young women, because we also see this as well, too, where they don't look to relationships to even acquire that. They have all these astronomical qualifiers for a relationship. You have to make 6 figures to date me. You have to do X, Y, Z, and the third. They're now have isolated themselves where they're incompatible with men. So a good man who will work to provide and protect for them, who will shield them from this desperation, who they can partner with and build a whole complete life. They have you where you're isolated. You're not compatible with your counterpart. Now, the only person you can come to is Big Daddy, and essentially they come along to you like Nate. When you come talk about I'm in a bind, they're saying, well, you're in a bind, huh? Well, how big a bind is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you mad? You want to storm out the car? All right. How little Jojo gonna get that book bag for school? Yeah, okay. It's gonna be on the table for you in the morning. And it sounds funny. It sounds funny and humorous until you realize that this is reality.
Yeah.
This is happening constantly. So I didn't mean to delve off too much, but this is a very real situation. When you see the Doja Rats and the Doechis, you have to recognize that they might be the figureheads, but at a lower level, you have a lot more Doechis and Doja Cats and women who are out there for one reason or another being forced into seeing that they need to get the bag no matter what, and they're willing to sell themselves out and their people out to do it.
Yeah, all facts.
Well said.
All right, very well said. I'm gonna make this quick. Doechii, what a fucking waste of talent. Like, what a disappointment. Because man, when I listen, I'd never seen all of this outrageous shit or heard her, do any hot takes talking about how her personality was or whatever the case may be. I just heard her rhyme.
Yeah.
And when you asked me that question, like who was the best out of Nicki Minaj, and I think who else did you say? Nicki, and then I think you gave Remy Ma and the first female MC, Chirac. I chose Nicki.
Yeah.
Not because Nicki is some paragon of virtue, and Nicki actually has anything to say. Her music is about nothing. But I am very much into the wordsmithship and the technicianry of hip hop. I am a former rapper. I've written, complex rhymes. I know, the chess that is, writing some of these complex ass rhymes. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So because she's able to do so much more than these other women, that's why I said she was the best in terms of what she technically does on the mic. However, her music is about nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And I would say the same with Doechii, unfortunately. And when I say that it's about nothing, it's definitely about something, but the something that it's about is nothing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I'll give you an example. Fuck. I like pills. I like drugs. I like getting money. I like strippers. I like to fuck. I like day drinking and parties in Hollywood. I like doing shit, snort it, probably would. What can I say? The shit works. It feels good. Didn't we just talk about the anything goes mentality and how that's harming the community? We just spoke about that. And now we have this new uber talented, otherworldly talented female rapper. Like, she can rap her ass off. She's stupid with it. But look what she's talking about. Look how she conducts herself. Like, the first time I saw her, it was the song that she was singing on. I forget what song it is, but like, I didn't even know she could rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because her first single she came out with, she was singing on it. And like, yo, she sings, she sounds good, okay, she's dancing, everything is popping, but like, why I gotta see your whole ass? The whole video, like, it's just ass. She should have changed the name of the song to Ass. You understand what I'm saying?
BBL ass, by the way.
Bruh, and it's like, bruh, you have talent. You don't need to do this bullshit.
More agenda pushing. So now, you should get some plastic surgery too. You're not complete without this.
Bruh, you have talent. You don't need to do this bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And shout out to Amun and shout out to Mila Renee. Sister Mila Renee's gonna be on here real soon. We gotta chop it up and see how we're gonna rock that. Maybe next week or the week after. We're gonna have you on here real soon, sister. These are valuable sisters. And when I hear a female spit like that, I'm expecting her to be a valuable sister. And then when I really listen to the content, I'm like, oh my God, I got sick to my stomach. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not what we need. You feel me? We already bad enough with Sexy Red and Glorilla and their ABC 1, 2, 3 ass rhymes that don't mean shit. Now you got somebody that's a highly skilled lyrical technician rhyming about shit that don't mean shit. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
No, that ain't it. So, it's a definite thumbs down for me. Even though she can rap, she raps very well. I'm just tired of all this toxic imagery being promoted about Black women. And her whole speech was the Black woman this, the Black woman that. I feel that if it was really all that and you really cared about Black women, you would respect black women by respecting your damn self. I said what the fuck I said. See me. You understand what I'm saying? So like I didn't like that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? And I say that even with respect because I respect the talent. But goddamn, bro, like this ain't it. This is I feel kind of like the women used to be back in the days when the gangster rappers was out. You know, when gangster rap came on the scene and you had Jada Pinkett when she was just Jada Pinkett and not Jada Pinkett Smith, when she was still normal, she was calling out gangster rap. She said she told Eazy-E to his face on national television. I can't feel good about myself hearing the way that y'all talk about women. You know what I'm saying? She called them out.
Yeah.
And she was right.
I
said that too.
Spot on.
She was right. You understand? And we don't give enough credence to that. The fact that, like, yo, you know, she was right. See Dolores Tucker, she was right. And not to say that, you know, there are women out there that do behave like bitches and hoes. There are. I'm not going to keep anybody from getting their credit. How about that? I'm not going to keep anybody from getting their credit. They're out there. But when you paint with the broad brush and you put all women in that category, you're doing yourself a disservice. When you're a new artist and you show up on the scene and you wallpaper in the internet with your ass before we can even really hear what you have to offer lyrically and as an artist, you're playing yourself. No, I don't like that shit. So there's that, right? And something that Bobby said that I really want to just kind of zoom in on real quick because people always leave this type of shit out. Bobby said that he doesn't have a problem having an unpopular opinion. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy for that shit, right? Listen, a lot of y'all out there, the reason that you're so off code and such a goddamn coon is because you want to be down. Let's just call it what it is. You want to be down. You've been a cornball all your life, Roland Martin. You understand what I'm saying? Ricky Smiley. I could go on all day. You understand? You've been a cornball all your life. And now, you know, these people that told you, hey, if you come over here, you do this, you know, XYZ, we'll paper you up. Yeah, we do. And you're like, damn, well, shit, I don't have no friends. Nobody likes me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really shit with my life. Why not? And then, you know, you find yourself over here selling your soul for a song so that you can be accepted. It's either for one or two reasons or both. Either you're doing it for money or you're doing it for acceptance. Or both.
Yeah.
And you know, just to piggyback on what you said, because I forgot to mention this as well, too. I also saw a clip of her being interviewed on The Breakfast Club. I think it was just after she got the Grammy.
Yeah.
She was being interviewed, and they zeroed in on a part where she mentioned how when she was growing up, she went to one of those artsy-fartsy performing arts high school.
Yeah.
That's its own bag of worms right there. But she basically mentioned how she had to deal with how she felt she had to deal with code switching back then, where she tried to blend in and fit with these other non-Black children as well, too, and how she had identity issues growing up. And I'm listening between that, the whole thing dealing with that dude that I guess she was dating with and everything. Also in that clip, you can't see it too well because of the mosaic blocking the dude's face. But shout out to my brother Torrain Walker. That septum ring theory, it ain't never late.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
I actually messaged him the other day. We chopped it up for about an hour about a month ago. We had some good dialogue. Real solid brother. I'm about to hit up like bro, respectfully, I think it's time we up the intensity of this from septum ring theory to septum ring law. Because I could damn near set my watch to it, and I could live I don't have to even adjust for daylight savings time. This clock will never stop or miss a beat. It's crazy. But I'm looking at everything I'm hearing, all the sample size we have from her.
Yeah.
And it's like she checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Got the nerds to talk about straight men or red flag. Ma'am, you are the red flag. You're a walking, talking red flag.
Facts.
You are the flag of the United States of Dochi. You are your own paraphernalia. But it also dawned on me because literally I got this whole crash course in Dochi 101 today, really, to be honest with you.
Oh wow, okay.
But I realized the only reason that this information can be accumulated so quickly is because it speaks to the fact that this is not a new archetype. She is just one of many. We're at the point now where we can almost play bingo with these certain individuals, and we can be dead on accurate about it.
Yeah. And look, let me just say this in closing, man. Like, you know, I pray for sisters like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
I do.
It's, you know, I go back to Matt Genius, and Matt Genius told me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother. For those of you who don't know, you know, he's a psychologist that we had on the show. And he basically said that no one is a lost cause. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I pray for that sister's true and actual healing. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll run around and pretend that she's healed or whatever. But when I listen to her music, she's far from healed. You know, and she's very young. And so in that regard, you know, I kind of still withhold some of my fire or whatever. But, you know, hearing her music makes me angry. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, this is the type of shit that people gravitate to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the imagery, the music, it's just all wrong, especially for a sister. When I hear somebody who's that talented, I assume that they're really smart. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're so talented. How can you not be really smart? How can you not really be conscious? How can you not know that the image that you're putting out there is going to be harmful? You understand what I'm saying? That's people, and to the stupid motherfuckers that be like, oh, you know, well, why are you judging? Oh my God, you don't be judging and talking so bad about her. You are attacking her. The reason why I'm so harsh with regards to how I speak on people like Dochi and what they're doing is because I realize Dochi's influence and her potential influence. And, you know, we're already in a bad space. You understand? We do a show that's primarily about dating and relationships, right? If we're already in a bad space, what the fuck you think a Grammy-winning, extraordinarily popular artist, you know, established now, comes out to Black woman and someone asks her what her red flags are in relationships, and she responds, straight men. Notice she didn't even say men. She specified straight men. There is a concerted effort to attack straight masculine men right now. It's been going on for a while. You understand what I'm saying? But that type of shit, and particularly for Black people, Black women, sisters, when you attack your men, you are removing your protection mechanism. Careful what you wish for. And I'll park the Chevy.
Definitely. You know, what you said is on, what you said is on point. And it's, you know, that's the one thing about agendas. You know, a lot of times genders are pushed, and men and women don't even realize that you're co-signing your own demise. Stop doing that. Analyze it for what it is. Look at the bigger picture. Don't be tunnel vision with what's going on. You're only seeing its surface value, and you accept it for the surface. And then when you accept it, the long term comes in and kicks you in your ass. So when you sit back and you create and you want more beta males, then when you have all these beta males attacking women, now all of a sudden, where's the real men at? Well, the real men was out there, but you shamed them.
Yeah.
You know, you had them going in their own corners or just leaving out of your whole community. Now they're protecting women outside of their community.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the sad reality. And speaking of that, you know, Mila Renee said something that was powerful when I had pulled up her. She said, this right here. This was very powerful, right? I just talked about this part today. A female actually said she left her husband because he fell on hard times. Her rationale: when a man loves a woman, he won't allow himself to fall on hard times. That, to me, is the most destructive thing that a woman could say to a man, or even say to another woman in regards to a man. Because, and this is why I say, and you guys know I've been very adamant on this podcast, even when I talk to people in general, and a lot of people don't know the statistics, and that's alarming because men don't talk about it. But I talk about it all the time. Men are 2 to 3 times more likely to commit suicide. And the basic principle and logics behind it is a man has to provide for himself. Because the minute he can't provide for himself a house, a car, he's deemed as worthless. A woman don't need a house. She could be with her mama. She don't need a car. She could be on the bus. Whatever the case may be, she could be at her lowest low and still pick up a man that's worthy because he's looking at the value of what she can bring to him. And it might just be something as words of affirmation and cooking a hot meal when he comes home from work.
Yeah, true.
But when a woman, she's looking for this man to be 6 foot. He has to have 6 figures. He has to make sure that he is able to pack. He got to be a porn star. He got to eat vagina while doing a handstand. He has to juggle while walking. He has to do all of this supernatural shit in order for him to even just to be on the level to date you. And now that he enters the realm of just dating you, now he has to be in a competition with other 6 foot, 6 figure guys that know how to eat coochie while they're on the headstand. You have 10 other guys of that nature that you say that you got. And now they all got to fight to see who wants you the most. And that's bullshit. And this man is spending his resources to show you that he trying to outbid your love from the other guy. And the whole time you already locked in on who you want, but you're enjoying the perks. That's another bad thing that a lot of guys, you guys got to refrain from doing, is giving these women perks, because you're allowing them to continue on taking and taking from you. And then they say, oh, well, I didn't force you to do it. And I'm not committed to you. Make sure you get the commitment, and then you reward her based on the commitment and what she does for you. Reciprocal energy is what is needed, fellas. Understand that part. So when you start to see, this is a powerful quote, right? A lot of females aren't taught how to treat a man, only what to expect from him. All right? So you're starting to see a lot of women operating in that mentality. And one of the victims, and I'm gonna call him a victim because he was a victim. And it's so sad because when this young man was paraded around, and he has extraordinary talent, fastest at the Columbine, during the NFL Columbine. His mother, we talked about his mother. His mother is beautiful. So she's been in the limelight, been around her. He's like, yeah, she looks more like his sister than his mother. And she probably had him at a young age, and her genes are good. You know, it's a black woman. You know what I'm saying? But this young man, I never saw his father. I never saw them parading a father figure around him. It was always his mother. And now all of a sudden, this young man got in a situation that really can tarnish his legacy, because he got charged with domestic violence. And from what I heard is that he had caught her cheating. This is his fiance. He caught his fiance cheating, and she got mad and attacked him and then called the police on him, but he got arrested. And that young man is Xavier Worthy, right? So he caught her cheating, and now he's in jail. She destroyed his home and then played the victim. Free Xavier Worthy. And now there's a lot of women, to be honest with you, there's a lot of women that's out there actually on Worthy's side. You know, I guess people are digging into the situation and realizing that this woman is very toxic, right? And then he ended up, I guess he went to jail and he ended up cutting his dreads. And then he said, you know what, new beginnings, right? And I hope this young man learns from this. I hope he doesn't backtrack into that or find another woman with that same characteristics. And this is what Major talks about heavy, you know, and I can't wait for his book to come out because I'll be one of the major dudes out here promoting his book, you know, about vetting and the properness of vetting. And a lot of these young dudes, you know, we have so many game goofy dudes out here. There's a lot of game goofy dudes from the Drakes, the Drewskis, you know, all these young dudes. Zion Williams, another game goofy dude. Nobody's giving them the right game. There's nobody out here trying to tell them the importance of vetting, and they're getting themselves into situations that they shouldn't even get in. There is no way that you know this girl. I'm not talking about Zion Williams. You're out here with a girlfriend, but you're on the side with this African girl who has her butt is the most biggest and enlarged Brazilian butt lift I've ever seen. She's on all these videos with ratchet dudes and she likes ratchet toxic stuff. We seen her last time we played the audio and she's like, yeah, I like when a dude choke my neck. Yeah, choke my neck. And the dude choked her neck. She's like, yeah, I like that shit. And you end up going into this woman raw and creating a child with this woman. That is so crazy to me because you're game goofy. You don't understand how it is to have discipline and to make sure that you guys got to look at yourselves as kings, royalty. Everybody isn't supposed to experiment your loins. Your loins is supposed to be something that is saved for a woman that is worthy enough to understand that, hey, I'm giving her the loving of her life, and everything else around it is wrapped up. This woman is lucky. And that's why back in the days, we used to have women like that. They used to come up to women and they used to try their husband and their husband wouldn't budge. And they'll come up to the woman and be like, man, you are one lucky woman. Because she tried to unravel this man from this woman. And this man knew he had a great wife and he was not budging. We had men on quality like that. Now we got a lot of game goofy dudes who just soil their royal oats all over the place and creating all of these situations and creating more hell-like environments, not only for them, but for their children too. Because if you're creating life with a toxic woman, she's going to create a more toxic environment and create more connection with toxic men around your child that's going to erupt into a conflict. And sometimes that ends up being fatal. So you guys got to understand the importance of that stuff. And you guys got to start acting as if you're the shit. Like, you don't have to go out there and tell people you're the shit. Just act like you the shit, man. I'm telling you, like, my peoples already know, like, when I run out here and I do what I do, man, they already know. I shut shit down. I don't be out here entertaining nobody. I come, I do what I gotta do. I stay here. I provide information for people. I go in the community. I big up the people in the community, the young adults, the children, the grandchildren. When they come around, I instilling stuff in them. They have changed since I've been in their lives, man. These young boys are now progressing into young men and young soldiers. So it's that type of masculinity that you complain about, that straight man that understands his work, that's out here, you know, putting down his footprints and solidifying every area that he stomps in. You are attacking that type of man, what society and what every woman should be wanting. And that's the type of stuff that they're promoting to disrupt and destroy. And stop co-signing that BS. And I'll land my plane on that. Well, I want to say, before I land my plane on that, I want to just, you know, give a solution to what's going on to that young man that found out his girl was cheating. So cheating, when betrayal becomes a breakthrough, cheating isn't just about broken trust. It's about broken hearts, broken dreams, and broken people. When someone you love betrays you, it feels like your world shatters in an instant. The worst part, it's not just the act of cheating, it's the lies, the manipulation, and the realization that that person you trusted the most was capable of hurting you the deepest. Truth about cheaters, they knew what they were doing. Cheating is not a mistake, it's a choice. It's a mistake. A mistake is forgetting your keys. A choice is betraying someone who gave you their heart. It's not your fault. No matter what they say, their action, the reflections on them, not you. You are enough. They weren't capable of loyalty. They will regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day they will look back and realize they lost someone real for a temporary thrill. All right. What's the solutions on that? How to heal, how to rise stronger. Feel the pain, but don't stay there. Cry, scream, write it down. Do whatever you need to do, process the pain, but don't let it define you. Don't seek revenge, seek growth. The best revenge isn't hurting them back. It's becoming successful and happy that they're no longer the matter. Know your worth. Someone else's betrayal doesn't lower your value. You are still worthy of love, respect, and loyalty. Move forward, not backwards. If they betray you once, they can do it again. Don't let the sweet words and fake apologies trap you in the same cycle. Your comeback is stronger than your betrayal. Cheating doesn't break strong people, it transforms them. The person who cheated on you lost someone loyal, but you just lost someone who didn't deserve you in the first place. And that's not a loss, it's a blessing. And I'll land my plane on that.
Extraordinary. That breaks my heart to hear that, man. That brother went to jail, man. He's a rookie that went to the Super Bowl in his first year. And he played extremely well, even though I despise Kansas City. I mean, I just had to throw that in there. Even though I despise Kansas City, that brother, he showed out. I wish we would have got him. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, And at the end of the day, brother didn't do anything. You know, and shout out to Mila. Mila cooking in the comments. Shout out to you.
Yes, yes.
Let me tell you,
and Chef Renee right there.
Yeah, exactly. She ain't playing. But when you've done nothing wrong and you're actually the victim and you're the one who gets locked up, didn't we just talk about white supremacy using women to attack black men? Didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah.
This is a textbook example of the system of white supremacy using a woman to attack a black man. Because what happens is, and this is why vetting is so important. I'm getting closer to finishing the book. I got a lot going on right now, but it's coming. You dig? This is why vetting is so important, though. Because had he not chosen this hyena, you dig, he wouldn't be in that predicament. You don't just call the police on your man just all willy-nilly. You fucked up. You did some bullshit, but you're going to call the police on him and lie on him. A real woman, a quality woman would never do anything like that. It wouldn't even be an idea, and like you said in there, and like I say in my book, when we start talking about people who cheaters, a cheater is an infidel. They know exactly what they're doing. They have to pre-plan it. You understand? And in most instances, they pre-plan it repeatedly. So this whole, it was a mistake bullshit, really. No, we got to start seeing cheaters for what and who they are. They're just very defective people. And, unfortunately, a lot of us, we don't bother to properly screen folks before we give ourselves to them. And you end up with somebody like this sleeping next to you every night. And, it's like it's never enough. I had a meme that I put up this week where the man comes to the woman, he has the globe in his hands, he's like, I'm giving you my world as you requested, and her response was, but you left out the moon and the stars. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, this is an NFL player, you know what I'm saying? It seems like a pretty decent guy on the up and up, you know what I'm saying? He ain't out here wilding and in the clubs and up on these chicks and all this old shit. Xavier Worthy, from what I could tell, minds his business. You understand what I'm saying?
Stay out the way.
You just couldn't keep the hood monkey out of you. You had to go and run the streets and do some ratchet bullshit. You had to do it because Sexy Red said to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just that fucking stupid. We got to get off that. Like you said, it's off code behavior because we're supposed to be about the upliftment of each other. If I'm with a woman, I'm supposed to be about uplifting her 24/7, 365, period. She's supposed to be about uplifting me 24/7, 365, period. So you go out here, you know, with a good, solid dude that a lot of women are crying that they can't find. He's doing him and off the market because he love you, but you can't keep your legs closed. And to add insult to injury, when you cheat, you go call the folks, make up some lies on him, and send him to jail.
Yeah.
There has to be a VIP section in hell for piece of shit people like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, bruh,
I sure hope so.
It's despicable, bruh. Like the type of shit that I see, you know, the lack of value, you know, that people place on each other. You know, people don't care about each other no more. Just broadly speaking, you can tell in just the way that they address each other. I was listening to that sister, the Crimson Cure. Check her out if you haven't yet. That's a bad sister too. She's real. She lit. And she was it her? No, it was another sister. I'm sorry, my bad. But she was
another one.
Too. But I've been listening to a lot of sharp sisters lately. I think it was Raya Speaks. She was saying, talking about how, you know, be very mindful. And I've said this before. That's why I clicked in my head. I got so excited. Be very mindful of women that address men as niggas. Be very mindful of that. When you hear that shit, you already know it should. That's why we need some brothers to give these young brothers some game. You know,
they're the office.
Because you in the NFL, you got your whole life ahead of you. You're having a very bright future. You shouldn't be dealing with no insect like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, she just seems like one of those types. You know what, niggas gonna do this. So niggas, you don't have to. Never mind, niggas. You know, nigga. She just comes off as that type. And you know, again, I always say this. I'm gonna continue to say this. You know, we have to continue to try to see the God in each other, the God spirit in one another as men and women, and we won't do things like this. And you know, we have to actively look for the God spirit in one another as men and women, and we won't choose people like this. And I'll probably,
definitely. I want to share some quotes real quick because I think you know, since we're on the powerfulness of attraction in quotes,
go for it.
First quote I want to show is you attract what you are, plain and simple. Not what you want. If you want great, then be great because it's going to attract that. All right. Ladies, be the woman you would look up to. I think that's something that you have to put in your mind. And once you realize that, you'll operate a lot different out here. You move different out here. All right. Powerful quote for yourself. Accountability is so important to me. Nobody's perfect, but don't try to flip the script and make my reaction the issue when your actions lit the match. Always remember that. All right.
All right.
And the last quote I want to give is for the people out there that have children. I think this is especially for you guys. One day your child would sit across from someone and explain to them what it was like to be raised by you. Make sure it's a story worth telling. Read it again.
Right? Lit. I'm rocking with that. All right. That's soul food. That's soul food.
That's all I got for you guys.
Bobby, what you got?
That was very real because a lot of people got this narrative that they tell themselves in their head about who they are and XYZ. They got these rose-tinted glasses. They see themselves, and you know they always got excuses for themselves. They always got some explanation. You don't understand. It's not going to be the story that you tell you that other people tell about you. It's going to be the story that they tell about you. You can say all you want to about, oh, you know, I'm not worried about what other people think about me. Only God knows my character, XYZ. You can tell yourself whatever you want to. And it's true. Sometimes people don't tell the full story. They don't have the full picture. But the reality is, when other people start sharing their experience with you and it starts syncing with other people, everybody cannot be wrong. Everybody cannot be wrong. And especially when these sources are close to the eye of the storm, you raise them. They know you better than anybody else. They've literally seen the ups, the downs. They've seen all the little backstories for the most part that you think explain or justify certain things. It don't work.
Yeah.
The truth will out. The truth will out. Yeah, much support to that brother Xavier. Doing what he's supposed to be doing, head down to the grindstone, making things happen, and then lo and behold, done ran head first into a steaming pile of horseshit. Just ridiculous. I did hear that he's been released since that story first broke. That's what I heard. So I'm happy that he's no longer behind bars. That's not where he's supposed to be. And again, the truth will out. Just goes to show, and I'm on this kick now, and this might be another unpopular opinion, but you can go ahead and stack your concerns in the inbox that I don't check of all the people that got a problem with it. Go ahead. If you can find some room, go ahead and get in there. If not, you can just stack it neatly by the by the wall there where the box is mounted, and someone will eventually get to it if they feel like it. We need to get into the habit. I don't know if we ever were there before, but if not, we need to get there now or return there if we were. Get back into the habit of calling women who fit the bill losers.
Yeah.
Losers.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Xavier is the only NFL player I saw this about. There's another player I think might be for the Browns. I'm not sure, some white guy. I think he's an offensive lineman. With this extra plain homely white lady that he's married to, whatever. And I don't know if I'm the best person to go ahead and evaluate non-black women based on aesthetics, but I'm just saying from my perspective, she looked absolutely milquetoast. Even though offensive linemen aren't necessarily the cream of the crop when it comes to NFL salaries, the very fact that someone that plays for one of the largest sports organizations or leagues in the world saw fit to marry you and be with you. He can say it with full arrogance. The honor is all yours. This marriage should definitely be a tax write-off. This is definitely a charitable donation. This benefited you way more than it benefited me. I digress. Again, cheating on mans. And unfortunately, he took to drinking to kind of dull his problems, and unfortunately, he got behind the wheel and was arrested for DUI. Huge things to deal with. Sorry to hear about that on his end. But again, get into the habit of calling women like this and others that fit the bill losers. You literally have, when you literally sit back and hear these unrealistic women all day long in these podcasts and these shows talking about the kind of men that they deserve, that they're not settling for. He has to have X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Here you have a tale of two women. And I brought up for a reason as well, too. I'm going to go into as well. One white woman, one black woman. White woman married to a white man, black woman engaged to a black man. Professional athletes. Okay? They hit it. They got men of high status, high earning men with fame. They get to go places. They're red carpet. They're living that life. They won. They won.
And found a way to lose.
Ticket day parade and everything. Not even millimeter. In the sister's case, millimeters from the finish line. The other woman had crossed the finish line, won, and still found a way to lose. How do you do this?
It's fascinating.
It's got to be a talent.
It's fascinating.
It's got to be a gift. You're a professional loser. You're able to lose at the highest levels.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? You drop the baton in the Olympics and you only have to fall forward? Here, hold my beer. Let me show you how it's done. Flat out. Go ahead, currency for the people. It's amazing.
Now they're hitting other women with the batons. So that's a whole other conversation. Did you see that? They hit the girl with the baton, dude, while they were running.
I was livid. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna go too much in depth to that. All I'm saying is that was my relative. You would have had to bring out the whole arena for me. I'm hopping over that line. Someone's gonna get that work. Look.
Then when the girls got on TV talking about, it wasn't intentional. We can see you. What you mean it wasn't intentional? Like, yo, bro.
You just so
when was this?
Accidentally hit this sister so hard, she literally got a concussion. She has a fracture in her skull.
Bruh.
What accident that pulls that off? And if you look at the video, you can highly make an argument that she was trying to cut back and hit her again.
Yes. She had to stop running. Bruh. I don't know when it happened, but it was recent. Oh my God.
I was pissed. I was livid. You do that to my sister, my daughter, my niece, my whoever. Look, there's gonna be some more blood spilled in there. And I guarantee you, most of it's not gonna be from my relative.
Bro, that shit was painful to watch, dude. I'm like, oh my God,
disgusting.
What the hell? Like, it's great, and it's funny when you first see it until you realize she really hurt that girl. You know what I'm saying?
About, if you've ever done track, even if it's just not professional, even if you've done track or any relay races and you ever felt those batons, it's like, I don't know what it's made of, but
it's hard.
They're light. Don't get twisted, but they're solid.
Yeah, they're solid.
So if you lift that back and you put some muscle behind it, if you're hitting something that's organic, like bone or muscle, whatever, you're gonna do some damage.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. I hope they lock her ass under the jail. There's no excuse for no shit like that, bro.
She's young, but she's not so young to the fact where you don't understand what you're doing. And she can hold the thing. She knows what it feels like. And especially given the circumstance, it's not like she was attacked and she just reached for something and she was defending herself. No, you're mad because you were not good enough, because you are go there again. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're salty that you weren't good enough. You didn't train hard enough. Your genetics were not important enough. You were not good enough to win and prevail. Instead of taking the L and saying, you know what, I have to be better. I got to go back to the drawing board. Or you know what, it was just her time. Well done. I'm glad to see another sister make it. You decide, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to make her physically feel as bad as I mentally feel.
Yeah. It was sad, though. And like, Anthony still can't get over it. He watching it for the first time right now. Bro, that shit. And let me tell you something.
She got a fractured skull.
Yeah, man.
Fractured skull and a concussion.
Do you know where that comes from? You know where that comes from? That comes from all this reality TV show shit where these bitches fight on every goddamn show. And I don't use the word bitches lightly. I mean it when I say it. Where these bitches fight on because there are no real women on those shows for the most part. Oh. If you're fighting, on national television because some white person gave you a script and told you to. Side note, all reality shows are scripted. Because some white person gave you a script and told you to embarrass your people. Yeah, I can't respect that. You understand?
Trained monkeys.
Yeah.
And again, it all goes back to what we're talking about, being off code.
Being off code. That type of shit right there, man. That's where this type of shit comes from. She thinks it's okay to be violent. Unprovoked, by the way, because most of these things on these reality shows, when these girls be fighting all the time and all that shit, nobody did anything to them.
Yeah.
Somebody said
silliness.
The slightest little thing. Oh, your baby daddy, was in my inbox. And you go hit the girl. Throw something at her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because I thought a bitch said something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then they reinforced that with putting out the Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds and the Doechis of the world. You understand what I'm saying? All this.
It's a vicious cycle.
And not only that, when women do some fuck shit, they don't arrest them a lot of the time. I know. I used to be a club promoter. A group of women fight, they break them up and send them home. They don't punish them.
Yeah,
I think it's cute.
I don't. You know, and that's one thing I talk about all the time is that the animosity that a lot of these young girls have for each other, or just women in general, black women. I've been saying this for the longest. Black women, your enemy is not the black man. Stop letting the white feminists promote that bullshit. Your number one enemy is black women. I've made a post on Facebook asking black women or women in general, but majority of my audience was black women. And I said, who would you rather work with? A black male supervisor or a black woman supervisor? 95% of them said a black male supervisor. Because every time I get with a black woman supervisor, it's always catty, it's always demeaning, there's always self-sabotaging. The black man is always there, he's helping, he's making my job easier. We have a great work relationship, we good. You know, he want to make sure that I succeed and do the job and I'm protected away from anybody else. That's all I keep hearing. So the narratives that's out there is just way different. And we got to get away from y'all women being have so much animosity for each other and competition. It's just this, the source of it is competitiveness. It's always a competitiveness with women. They'll use another man's pockets. They'll seek a man with money just to stunt on other women. They ain't got shit to do with the man. They might not even like him, but they'll use his money, his wallet to outshine the other women. And that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
So we got to get away from that shit, man. Really got to get away from that shit.
And then that's how you know who's behind. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was saying, go ahead. Just finish it up because I know we want to get to these two last things real quick. But go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and that's how you know who's behind it, because just like with any regular crime, if you go and dust for fingerprints, you see the same fingerprints behind it. The same way how you see how these colonizers, these people, they love everything about black culture and black people except for black people. It's the same thing around. They love everything about what the man provides and what he can do, is all the amenities of him, but they don't like the man.
Exactly.
These women are neck and neck to the The only time they're able to get along with one another is when it's to go after men. When it's misandry, they're on the same page, they're in lockstep. But if there are no men in the picture, then they're at each other's throats.
Exactly. And even if and in spaces that's supposedly what they call it, empowerment spaces, there's still shadiness in it. I've been in those empowerment states and I've seen women say, oh, this girl is throwing shade with a smile on her face.
Heard that from women.
Yeah, we definitely could get into that, but I definitely want to move on because we are running out of time. And I want to get to our question of the day. All right. So our question of the day is, do you think people are linking up based on love or based on what you can do for them?
Whoa. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say. Look, I had this one girl when I was dating. I love my beautiful wife that I'm with now. I've been with her for a couple years. Been with her for 5 and been married for 2. But yeah, back in the days, I was dating a girl and she told me straight up, you know, like we was messing around, and for whatever reason we stopped talking for a minute and we ran into each other again. She's like, hey, you know, give me a call because, you know, I got to talk to you before, you know, we go out or anything like that. I'm like, okay, what's up? So I call her and she's like, you know, basically, I can't date you again unless you're doing for me. I'm like, well, you can walk your happy ass on up the road there, goddammit, because I'm not buying anyone's time. And I let her ass know, this is me. This is the thing that sets me apart from a lot of other guys. I'm kind of volatile. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no filter. I will light your ass up. I don't give a fuck about your feelings and none of that shit. Like, real talk.
No, you're not.
Yeah, shit.
Teddy bear. The Charmin bears ain't got nothing on you.
Bruh, let me tell you. So I let her ass know. I'm like, and she's not the only girl that I did that to Avis. Another one said something similar a few years prior. And I'm like, look, because I was a little older. I'm like, look, Ma, yeah, I know, you fine, you young and all that old shit. And that's great. You got your little line and it blew your head up and, you think you model because, you got an iPhone and an Instagram page. Okay, great. So you think you're a model. All right. No problem, Bob. Whatever, right? But I told her, look, I don't feel like anybody is above me and I'm not paying anybody for their time. So you can keep that bullshit. Like, I told her straight up, like, you ain't better than me. And the same way you got a line, I got a line. So, in fact, my line probably longer because I actually have accomplishments. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I told her all this. I'm like, yo, you can take that bullshit on. And I'm like, really and truly what you need to be doing is hollering at your congressman or city councilman and see if you can get them to reestablish Backpage, because that's where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? If you one of these women out here that's trying to sell your ass, you're not on the dating market for real. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't take you seriously. You're an undercover prostitute masquerading as a woman out here looking for love. Let's keep it a buck. You understand what I'm saying? And nah, I'm not going to degrade myself by offering to pay you to spend time with me. And what makes it even crazier, she didn't even want to be in a relationship. What? You want all this shit? You want me to pay you and do for you and all this old shit if we gonna kick it? Mind you, we already used to kick it. But I guess somebody got in her ear, Sexy Red got in her ear and told her, Pound Town.
Sprinkle heifer.
Yeah, the sprinkle lady must have got to her or something between the first time we dated and the second time, and put some bullshit in her head, and now she's trying to use it on me. And I'm like, look, mama, this is not you. You need a simp for some shit like that. You need a Roland Martin or some shit like, or Steve Harvey, somebody like that. Somebody stupid that doesn't respect themselves to go along with that bullshit. You feel me? Like, I just had to, I really let her know, like, that's very low energy. And I told her, you sound like a prostitute and you need to just go and get you a spot on the corner. Like, you need to go walk the whole stroll if that's how you feel, and stop wasting decent men's time. And that's just what it is. I know that sounds harsh, but I don't give a fuck. Like, people got to start being real with these people, because too many people, both men and women, because men say some bullshit too. You understand what I'm saying? There's some men out here that are saying some real bullshit to some of these young ladies. People need to stop the bullshit where it starts, because this anything goes mentality in the society that we're in right now that's got people thinking they can say any dumb shit they feel like saying, and they know there's going to be an echo chamber of morons that's going to defend them. And even if there's not, they're going to get hundreds and thousands of views and get their 15 minutes of fame. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to be satisfying to them as well. So it's like a lot of these crash out dummies feel like they can't lose. And that's where we are now. And that is one of the downsides of all this off-code behavior as a culture. We get to the point where it's more important being seen than having integrity for ourselves. And I'll park the Chevy.
Yeah, I definitely want, before I let you go, Bobby, shout out to Instagram. Instagram is jumping over there, man. Like,
are we lit?
Yeah, man. We got Tell You Pawn One, Eve Iceman, clap them thighs. Shout out to my boy, clap them thighs. Deslock. Okay. Bring it to the law.
Deslock.
Okay, I got a song with Deslock. Shout out to Deslock. Bang, back it up. Okay.
Definitely. Young Jizzy, Love Jones. Inez Love Shoes. Steve Joe TV. Oh man, it's so much over there.
Hey, put the YouTube link in there too, so they can also have that.
Yeah. They got the YouTube link over there as well.
Yeah, that's G. Okay, what's up, IG?
Yo, man, shout out.
We appreciate the
IG
love,
is jumping, man. Okay.
One moment, I just want to take time out. Deslock is a legend.
Yes.
Just so you know, I put some respect on that man's name. Anybody who don't know, and I'm not just saying that because I got a song with him. Deslock is a true legend down here in South Florida. Shout out to that brother. Good brother. Good solid brother.
And shout out and rest in peace, to the other part of Piccolo.
Vito.
My boy, man, he was such a super dope dude. I was closer to him than I am with Deslock. I see them all the time.
Yeah.
And just knowing that every time he used to see me, he always be like, yo, boy, what's good? You know what I'm saying? And then I heard he had a tragic heart condition and he ended up passing away, man. And it really hit the community hard. He was like the teddy bear. He was the gentle teddy bear in the Piccolo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to his family. And they are legends. And definitely need to get Piccolo Deslock on here. And interview him. Definitely.
I agree. That's we got to put that on the slab for sure. And
Definitely.
let me tell you, man, I just tell you this, man. If y'all Deslock, man, I was out with Deslock one night. Deslock gave me this drink, bro.
Yeah.
A Blue Flame, bro. Bro, I did not make it home that night. I had to, no bullshit. Like, and I already had like a couple Scarfaces. This is back when Coco's used to be popular.
Yeah.
I already had a couple Scarfaces, right? And you know how Scarfaces, they kind of sneak up on you because they're kind of sweet.
Yeah. They're like Incredible Hulks.
Exactly. Like, try this, man. This is, first of all, brought the shit. The shit had fire literally fire coming out. Oh God.
For the setup.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I'm Major Gage. Shit, I got this. What? Yeah. Man, I drank that shit. Gang. I ran around. I was parked outside, man. I sat down the rest of the night. I didn't perform. I couldn't perform. After the club, I literally had to run around the club 5 times.
Oh, you had to sweat it out. No.
I couldn't drive, bro. And then I still went in the car. I had to sleep for a couple of hours before I could drive. That shit, bro. Yo. So, yeah, man. Deslock gave me this damn drink, bro. And bro. Careful when Deslock offer you a drink in the club, dog. That's all I'm saying. But he's a good brother.
Man, you like Smokey and Debo's pigeon coop, boy.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Playing with Debo's pigeon coop.
Yes. You got it.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Real quick, I want to say big ups to all the fan rocking on IG, rocking this on YouTube, man.
Definitely.
Us being a voice says something, but you listening matters more because when you go out there, they'll try and tell you that the real shit that we're sharing, the things that we're saying, ain't nobody trying to hear that. They'll come and say, "Oh man, I don't want to hear them. They just preach, man. They're just talking blah blah blah. They don't want to hear that rah rah." By y'all giving your viewership, it's not about us. We're not. Our channel isn't monetized. We're growing. We're getting up there, but we're not monetized, and we're not hungry. If we get monetized, that's fine, but we're not hungry to do that. We're not necessarily trying to do this for a living. We're doing this because we're trying to get this realness out there.
Yeah.
So when you all share your likes, when you share the videos, the channel, when you give us props to the people that you talk to, when you go ahead and pay us eartime and attention, what you're saying is that's not true. There is a market for this. People are hungry for this. They do want to hear this realness. So big ups to yourselves for taking the time, because there's other things you can be watching and listening to. There's all kind of things competing for your attention out there more than ever. But the fact that you're taking time out, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to listen to what's being said, that shows that there's an appetite for this. You feel me? There's a mindset that wants to hear this.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. That's what keeps us going and doing our thing. And you know what? We're perfectly fine. If we just talk to our damn selves, we're perfectly fine with doing that. Aunt Major, myself, we enjoy each other's company. We love parlaying and talking with each other. We could just get together and do this weekly for ourselves. But the fact that 1 or 2 or 20 or however many people rock with this, that means a lot. And it says that we're not alone, and there's other people out there that's on the same wave, like minds, linking them with like minds. So big salute to yourselves. Big props to yourselves. It's not a little thing in this age that we're in right now, man. It's really not.
All thanks. All thanks. Yes, sir.
Well said.
What you got?
So it is time for us to get up out of here. So we're going to get into our last segment for the night, which is the
There we
crown
go.
check.
Yeah.
All right. And our context is so crazy that y'all talked about track and field earlier. You know, the tragedy with that young girl just beating across the head like it was a savage.
Shit crazy.
But we have a track and field person for our crown check tonight, and y'all don't know about her, but I'm gonna give y'all some information on her. And the crown check for tonight is Fatima Damant, right?
Oh, that's my baby. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Olympian. She's a very long jumper Olympian. You can see her. You can Google her. Born in 22nd, September 1996, is a Spanish athlete specializing in long jump and the triple jump. At the age of 17, she became the Spanish national indoor champion in both the long jump and the 60 meters. She competed in the 2020 Summer Olympics and won bronze medal in the long jump at the 2024 indoor championship. She also broke a record in the long jump. I think it was 66 meters, if I'm not mistaken, that she jumped for. If you guys want to follow her on IG, this is her IG account. This is what she looks like.
Okay.
Phenomenal, sister. She's from Spain. All right. And that's her in action.
Oh.
And that's her rocking her flag. Super dope sister. I follow her on IG. Just an adorable, adorable young lady that's just out here living her dream and repping her country. The Afro-Latinas, right? So this is what we talk about, the powerfulness of the Afro-Latinas, and represent her country at a young age, man. So keep doing your thing, young queen, and make us all proud. Right now you're doing bronze, but you're working your way up. She's going to be a gold medalist, man. This girl works very hard. All right. So with that being said, that's our crown check for the night, fellas.
Wow.
Man, look, if you see me on vacation in Spain, just know I'm not coming back home alone. That's enough said. I'm going to be at all the track meets going forward. Don't get that twisted. I said what I said. I put it out there.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Look, man, at the end of the day, you know, we talk about off-code behavior and what it is, but I think that so many people have a problem exhibiting off-code behavior because they don't know what on-code behavior is. You understand what I'm saying? And I just want to expand on that a little bit right quick and just break it down. On-code behavior, it doesn't mean that everybody got to be on the same thing, you dig? But what it does mean is that you conduct yourself in a manner that is not embarrassing to other Black people, you know, and that is not endangering other Black people by the way that you conduct yourself. And that is in cooperation with the agenda of Black people worldwide. You understand what I'm saying? Best example I can give of that is voting. I was talking to a brother that I argue with quite a bit. Claude, he's my brother. But God forbid. God bless him. Claude is my brother. God bless him.
Stay catching strays.
Oh my God. He's such a liberal. And it's like, bruh, I'm explaining to him, and my dad is another one. You know, a lot of these guys out here, y'all are just determined, no matter what, to vote for the Democrats. Vote blue no matter who. I'm here to tell you today, fuck that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing that no more.
Some good conditioning, boy.
Not to say that you can't vote for the Democrats, but you have to listen, you have to think, and you have to check out what's going down in the current political climate. Sure, the Democrats passed the Civil Rights Bill in the 60s. What have you done for me lately, bitch? That's all I'm saying. And if you haven't done anything lately, then why should I continue to support you? But like last election cycle, again, I voted third party. I didn't vote for the Democrats or for the Republicans. Why? Because they're not offering Black people anything. Neither one of them. You dig? So again, doing something that's not harming other Black people, ensuring myself as a black person, it's not embarrassing other black people, I chose to vote third party. You know how many people criticize me because of that? It's my vote.
Yeah.
I can do what I want with it. Why are people attacking me for it?
True.
Oh, you ain't voting a vote for anybody else is like a vote for Trump. No. If the Democrats didn't give me anything to vote for, I don't see why I should vote for them. And mark my words, over these next few years, these next few voting cycles, a lot of people are going to start voting third party because they see that both parties are in the pocket of the corporate interests. Corporations own both parties, so they do what the fuck the corporations tell them to do. You understand what I'm saying? They're not thinking about you. And once you start realizing that, you start to move a little different. Being on code, I didn't vote for either party. You may feel like I helped Trump get elected. You can feel how you want to feel. That's not the truth. I didn't have anything to vote for, so therefore I held my vote to myself, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get on that where we're doing stuff to empower ourselves and not doing shit just to do it. Oh, I vote out of fear and tradition because everybody else voted. You know, my ancestors died to vote so I could vote. No, your ancestors died so that you could have the choice to vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X said himself, I have the interview on my page where he's talking on Manifestations page on YouTube, where he's talking about you really shouldn't vote for either party if neither of them is doing anything for you. And I'll land with that. That's a great example of being on code. You want to do things, you know, that are not going to undermine other black people. Candace Owens, little coon ass, comes out and undermines black people every time she speaks. Larry Elder's another coon that does that. What's the other Sambo? Roland Martin does that. Anytime you're undermining black people and their well-being with your words and with your actions. Sheila Jackson Lee was in the House of Representatives running around talking about how black people don't need reparations. What we need with you? Why do we need you? Running around talking about how we don't need reparations. And he's a Democrat. Black woman. That's off code. And that's what we need to get on. And when we see other niggas that's off code, we need to call them niggas out.
Yeah.
Period. I'll pop the shit.
Well said. Take us out, Bobby.
Absolutely. Look, the reality is being off code is not a victimless crime. When you are off code, you are sabotaging the people and the collective as a whole.
Yeah.
When we talk about dealing with racism, white supremacy, you have to understand that this is a team sport. This is not tennis. This is not singles. This isn't bowling. This isn't any individualized sport. You by yourself are not going to be able to beat the system. It is a group effort. Dr. Claude Anderson has gone in on this at great length. A lot of our scholars and elders have talked about this at great lengths. These people come at us as a group, as a unit. They form Voltron and try to come at our necks. You as a lone person are not going to be able to take on that system in that regard, but also you as a person are not going to be immune to that. You think, well, I'm just going to stay out the way. I'm just going to keep my head down, drink my water, mind my business. I don't want no smoke. You don't have to want smoke with them. They want smoke with you just by virtue of the fact that you're existing. Your existence is the problem. They're looking for a solution to the Negro problem, and by damn it, they're going to have it one way or the other. The only option that you have is to stand and fight, unless you want to go ahead and sit in the corner with your hands between your legs, kissing your ass goodbye. If that's how you want to go out, more power to you. I'm not built like that. So me and those who think like me, we're going to come together and we're going to put our heads together and we're going to work to overthrow the system of racism, white supremacy, and replace it with a system of justice. That's our objective. That's our end game. That's what we're here to do. So by doing that, it's going to call for us to be on code. And so we're going to do that. And as you get on code, you'll find that it's easier to remain there. You'll find that you don't have to start being actively thinking about it. You're just automatically in tune and in sync with the things that are going to do that. The same way how you can just automatically pick up about how there's something not right about a dochi. I wonder what the issue is. And later on, you get your aha. That's what the problem was. It's the muscle, like anything else. The more you train it, the more active it's going to be. The time to go ahead and put in that work isn't when your ass is on the fire. A lot of Negroes like to do that. They wait till it's their time to get put out in the sun by white supremacy. Then all of a sudden they want to call in this cachet that they never invested in. Black power, Black Lives Matter. We're all in this together. Yes, my black brother. Nah, it don't work like that. Who goes there? Game recognized game, and you looking kind of unfamiliar. You talking the language, but we ain't seen you out here in these streets.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you like that. We recognize someone that's genuine and looking to be part of the solution, and we recognize someone that's just out there trying to save their own ass cheeks. And as soon as they get clear, he's my ass motherfucker. Nah, we ain't having that. So it's on code or no code, period. No in between. We want to thank you guys for rocking with us for another week, getting this good game, getting this good information. Make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And get active with us. We have you on YouTube. We got an IG presence. We got a presence on Facebook. Hit us up so you can be part of the group, so you can parlay and interact with us. Get caught up during the week with us. While you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and hit that bell icon and subscribe to all of our notifications. We are not going to turn your notifications into a wasteland, but when 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time rolls around, you'll get the notification the fam is linking up, and we're trying to parlay with one another.
Awesome.
For another week, Major Gage, Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, we are Manversations 2020. Stay safe.
Peace.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter. Make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.